My book has come out since the last time we were here. It's called Continuator. And one of the nicest blurbs that was written for it was written by a fellow student of mine who was at Harvard, classes with Errol Kim and Leon Kirshner, and then with Nadia Boulanger in Paris with me side by side for years. And he wrote a beautiful blurb for this book. And then a friend of mine wrote to me that he'd actually mentioned me in his book. This book just came out. It's called In the Realm of Tones, Composer's Memoir by Allen Shawn. And you may know the name Allen Shawn. He's the son of William Shawn, the New Yorker editor, the brother of Wallace Shawn, the actor, director. And he's married to Jamaica Kincaid. And he also has a distinction, which he didn't know until I told him, that Joe Papp of the New York Shakespeare Festival told me that Allen was his favorite composer of incidental music. Allen is a very gifted composer of pianist. And what I didn't know until I read this book was that he was also very, very close friends with Mark's parents. They were in Bennington together, and he wrote many pieces for Mark's mother. And it's through Mark's mother that we know him, that we know Mark. I mean, his mother, Maxine Newman, used to have parties on New Year's Eve with chamber music from all over the metropolitan area. It was marvelous. We met some wonderful musicians there, including Mark. And actually, we invited Maxine to play. When I started working with the Metropolitan Synagogue in 2014, we invited Maxine to play, and she wasn't available, but she recommended a very fine cellist who has been playing with us ever since. So, Mark, you know Allen. You knew him as a child, right?
Yeah, I do. I have known Allen as long as I've been alive. Allen is a very dear friend and a wonderful composer. And the movement of the piece we're going to play for you, titled Waltz, was actually written for my mother on cello and dedicated to both of my parents back in '96, I believe.
When you were?
I must have been 7.
Yeah, well, when I talked to Mark about doing some of Allen's music, he said, "Oh, I have some, but it's very hard." And then I talked to Allen, and Allen sent me this music. Mark, you hadn't heard this since you were 6 years old, right?
No, I didn't know this one. This is, but yeah.
But it's a delightful set of 3 episodes.
It is, yeah.
And the middle one is called Waltz, and Allen specifically recommended to him. I think it's a very good recommendation. I hope you will too. We're just going to play this little waltz.